Hi guys, welcome back to another tutorial. So in my last video I shared with you guys how to draft a straight leg palazzo trouser. So in this video I'll be showing you guys how to cut on your material and how to sew it. So as you can see, this is my front and my back pattern I'll be using to cut on my material. So if you've not seen the video for the pattern drafting, I'll be sharing the link in my description box. So I'm going to be using this material for the trouser, as you can see. So right now I'm going to go ahead and fold the material into two like so. So now I've gone ahead to fold my material into two, and I also went ahead to pin it down. As you can see, I'm cutting out the front pattern first. So remember, we didn't add allowance when we were drafting. So right now I'll go ahead and add my 1/2 inch allowance all the way like so. Just watch what I'm doing. So just make sure you add your 1/2 inch allowance all the way, even by the side, the way I'm doing it. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and use my ruler to make a connection on all the marks that I made. So just take your time while doing this. So if you watched my last video, remember that I said that I didn't add this extra 1/2 inch I added at the back. I didn't add it at the front. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and add it to the front. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out, including my allowance. So this is what the front pattern looks like. So right now I've gone ahead to cut out my back pattern as well, and I added the 1/2 inch allowance I added at the front, at the back as well. So this is my back pattern. So now it is time to sew our trouser, and right now I'm going to be placing the front together. That's the right side facing the right side. I'll be placing them on each other like so, and I'll go ahead and use about 1/2 inch to attach the crotch together. I'll also do the same thing at the back. I'll use 1/2 inch also to attach the crotch together. So I'm done attaching it, and you can see what it looks like. You can see the crotch. This is the crotch for the front and at the back. So at this point, I'm going to place the front pattern and the back pattern on top of each other. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm just going to place them here like so. Then I'm going to bring the crotch of both front and back. I'll go ahead and pin it down like so. So once I'm done pinning it down, I'll go ahead and use about 1/2 inch to sew it all the way down like so. I'm just going to go ahead and sew it, and I'm done sewing, and you can see what it looks like. This is how it looks. You can see our trouser is coming into shape. So now I'm going to be cutting out the band of the trouser, and what I'll do is that I'll measure the circumference I have on my waist like so. So this is the circumference of the front. It gave me about 19 inches, and it will be about the same thing at the back as well. So now I'm going to take a piece of material, and I'll go ahead and fold it into two like so. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fold that material into two like so, And remember, the band height we cut out when we were drafting on the paper was about 1.5 inches, but I'm going to be adding about half an inch to it to make it 2 inches. So right now my band height that I'm cutting out will be 2 inches, so the half an inch will be for my sewing allowance. So now I'm just going to go ahead and pin it down so it doesn't shift when I'm cutting. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So remember, the band we measured on the trouser of the front and back is about 19 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark that, and I'll remove my pin and cut it out like so. So you can see we have two pieces of the band, that's for the front and at the back. So right now I'll go ahead and iron it. But before ironing, I'm going to be adding a paper stay to it. This is to give it some kind of form at the waist. So I'm just going to be ironing a paper stay directly on top like so. So now I'll go ahead and fold it into two, and I'll iron it as well. So watch what I'm going to do at this point. I'm going to go ahead and open the band up like so. Then I'm going to fold about half of an inch first. The half an inch I left for my allowance, I'll go ahead and fold it, and I'll go ahead and iron it carefully. So now at the other side, instead of folding half an inch, I'm going to fold about quarter of an inch. So the half an inch I folded first will be lower than the quarter of an inch. Just watch what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and iron that quarter of an inch that I folded. So now you can see that one part is higher than one. So I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the other band as well. So right now I'll go ahead and attach my band to it, and just watch how I'm going to be doing that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and open the band into two like so. So the place that we ironed the half an inch will be at the outside. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to place it inside like so, while the one of the quarter of an inch will be on the inside. Just watch what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in about half of an inch from the waist of the trouser, and I will use my pin to hold it down. So after pinning it down, I'll go ahead and run a stitch on it. You can see how the inside looks. So just run a stitch at the edge. So I'm done doing that, and you can see what it looks like. You can see how the inside looks. So now I'm going to be placing the front and the back together like so. So I'll just make sure I place them on top of each other like so. Then I will use my pin to hold it down. So just make sure you arrange it properly. So I'm going to pin it on both sides all the way down. So now that I'm done pinning it, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it into two like so. So now I'll be dividing my actual waist measurement by 4, and whatever it gives me, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it like so. So my waist divided by 4 is about 8 inches, and I'll go ahead and mark it on the waistline like so. Then right from that waistline, I'll measure my hip line. My waist to hip is about 9 inches, and I'll go ahead and measure it. So on that hip line, I just went in by the half an inch allowance that I left, and right now I'm just using my hip curve to connect it. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach it with about half an inch all the way down, and you can see what it looks like after sewing it. So you can see how beautiful and neat it looks. So I'm going to be adding a zipper at the side. So right now I'm going to go ahead and open the left side of the trouser. I'm just going to go ahead and measure where I want my zip to get to. Then I'll open it up and I'll go ahead and fix my zip. So before opening it up, I'll advise you iron this place down so that you can know the line you put your zip on. So after ironing it down, just make sure you open it up. And once you get to the length where you want your zip to get to, then you can go ahead and top stitch. So now I've gone ahead to attach my zip, and you can see how it looks. And I also went ahead to use the 2 inches I left for the allowance at the hem of the trouser. I also went ahead to stitch it. You can see what it looks like. So all it needs right now is just proper ironing, and we are done with the trouser. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. You can also like and share the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.